What's up, guys? Today I'm bringing you one of the most skilled lava decks in the game. It's going to be this one right here. It's very cheap. You do have the miner, and there's so much outplaying you can do with the miner and the zap. It's crazy. You have the guards, which are one of the best defensive units in the game right now, and they also create a ton of pressure. You get the arrow zap, which is enough for a lot of things in the meta. And with a lot of queen decks, you can still beat them with this deck. So I'm going to go over some really intense matchups. And they're not even good matchups either. So let's jump into it. So the first matchup we have here is against Mega Knight Graveyard, which is an abomination of a deck. I hate it. He has Hunter and Baby Dragon, which is absolutely nasty to face as a lava player. Alongside the Graveyard and the Poison and the Cage, this turns into a really nasty matchup, except for one fact, and that's that he doesn't have the Tornado spell. So we can try and make sure that our placements are making sure that our balloon doesn't get killed by his Hunter. Because if you place your balloon right or wrong, the loon will like go next to the lava, and then the Hunter will shoot it, and it's really stupid because your Hunter just like, I'm trying to think of how much damage he does. I think it's like 1,300 or something. It's insane. He does way too much damage. What's up, Sirius? Welcome. As you can see there, we did get some damage, which was really nice because we got a bunch of lava pups connecting to the tower there because our pups were being tanked for by that balloon, and also we got death damage. And I think if I zapped that Baby Dragon, we could have gotten a loon hit. But, you know, that was, I wasn't really thinking about that zap at the moment, and I don't even think that would have saved us there. I messed up this guard's placement here. I was just trying to make sure the barbell didn't get any damage, but it did, so that was annoying. But at that point, I didn't know he was running Graveyard. I thought he was running, like, some weird Royal Giant variant. I think he was really tempted to put a great Mega Knight down in there. And that would have been fine for us because we would have just wrapped it up with an Inferno. But here, watch this play. The miner comes in, the arrows come in to deal damage to the Hunter, and the zap comes in at the last second so that the Hunter didn't get any shots off, and our miner tanks for our Inferno Dragon to kill the tower. And that was, I thought that was really cool there to be able to take that tower. I knew that since he had the Hunter and the Baby Dragon in the cage, we were going to have to play very aggressively and make a push other than Lavaloon in single in order to try and stay in the game. And he does take the tower here, but he does spend a lot of elixir doing it, so it's really fine because we can just go drop a lava in the back, and now we're only down 3 elixir, which is really nice. And then the problem here is that he goes in with the Hunter, and he has that cycle that allows him, you know, to potentially get back to another Hunter. But we do have 3.8 cycle on this deck. It's pretty fast as far as lava goes. So he does get back to another Hunter there, and our loon just gets blown up. But here, an important goal against Graveyard is to make sure he doesn't, especially this deck. It goes for other decks too, like Lumberloon and whatnot. You want to make sure he doesn't stack troops. Because if you're like playing against Lumberloon and you let him stack like a Baby Dragon and E-Drag, then he just drops a Lumberloon in front of that and you can't defend it. So it's really annoying. So here we want to use our arrows, we want to try to use our Death Bomb, we want to use our Arrow Zap to just try and make sure that he doesn't get high health troops stacked behind his Mega Knight, so then he just ends it. So like here was the make or break of this game, I feel like, because he got a bunch of troops down and I knew it. And here we just went in with the minions and the zap as well to try and kill that Baby Dragon. We do, and I put the miner down because the Hunter does a lot of damage to towers if he's left alone. And it's, you don't want to take that. I don't want to take any damage in this matchup. So that's what I'm trying to do, is trying to play as much defense as I can, but still get offense going. And so we do drop a lava in front of here to try and kill this Hunter and tank for a Baby Dragon, because we know that he doesn't have a reset in this deck, so the Inferno Dragon could potentially get a lot of value. And he tries to cage this to King, but right there what we do is Miner Zap in the very top corner, and it redirects the towers onto our miner, which was absolutely crazy. Alright, so here we have a really weird graveyard matchup against Queen, and I hate the Queen, so anytime I do beat the Queen, especially with Arrow Zap, it's really quite a notable achievement. So against the Tombstone and the Archer Queen, I'm instantly thinking graveyard, just because you see the Tombstone used as the main building in a lot of control decks now. And especially when that Ice Wizard comes down, I thought it was just gonna be like classic graveyard, but with just the Queen for the Baby Dragon, and then he ended up playing like the cannon card, and it was really weird. But yeah, I mean, we're not doing too bad here. I suspected a graveyard was coming in, so I just kind of hesitated a little bit on the minions there. But sadly, or maybe not sadly, I don't know. No graveyard coming in. The minion getting 2 shots off on that Tombstone. Absolutely crazily important there, because what that does is, I don't know if the Tombstone would have been dead by the time our lava had crossed the bridge had the Tombstone not hit it. I mean, the minion not hit it. But since the minion got 2 shots off, the Tombstone died by the time our lava crossed the bridge. So then we could just go Loon behind it, because I know he's not back to his Tombstone yet. And so the Queen ability, I mean, it makes it really hard to do anything with this deck, because the Loon just gets obliterated alongside the Lava Hound. I'm sorry, I don't speak German. Also, what's up, Snakey Snake? Yeah, but it's just really hard to get anything done against control Archer Queen decks, because you see, I tried to take advantage of the fact that he didn't have his Tombstone in cycle there, but I really couldn't, because he just didn't. I didn't have a chance to get my stuff to the tower. Maybe I could have placed the balloon a little bit to the side so it didn't get hit by the Ice Wizard, but I don't know if that would have made a difference, because the Archer Queen, she's like a machine gun. So, worst lava player ever? No, that's not true. And so anyways, I go with the balloon here. I do go in with the guards on this left side, but it's unfortunate because he did prediction arrows them. So we're first to go with minions on the left side so that we don't take too much damage. However, what's really nice there is that our Inferno Dragon finished off that first Ice Wizard so that I didn't have to use a miner on it or something like that. And the Valkyrie here just gets blown up by our Inferno Dragon, so it's really a much better situation for us here, even if this Loon doesn't connect, because we're up 5 elixir, which is pretty huge. I went with the Inferno Dragon there just in case he tried to pressure and go with like a Valk Graveyard push, because that would be really annoying to try and defend it. But if we get that pre-Inferno Dragon down, that he starts heating up early and he finishes heating up early, so that we can deal with the push like this. But now we have a miner and a Lava Hound, and here it's going to come down to the wire here. I don't want to make it too freaking slow, but like right there you saw the Lava Hound did finish off that tower before the Valkyrie and the Archer Queen did. I'm definitely going to show this. Yeah, this was an intense matchup, because I hate this deck normally, and this is a deck that absolutely nobody likes. It's been a bane for Lava Hound for a long time, because like it seems simple enough, because look, he only has bats for air counter, but you got to be really careful what you're doing here, because you can't just go with a solo Loon just because he has bats out of cycle. He has the snowball, he has the Night Witch, so it's really annoying. But the key here is to just get enough defense down, and to also start your own lava push, because it's very hard to stop a lava push if he's the Night Witch player. But what's going to happen is he's going to be super aggressive. As you can see here, it goes with the giant Night Witch, which is very intimidating since we didn't have our minions in cycle. But we do go with the guards there, and they could have been better guards in my opinion, but they do get the job done. We managed to not save the tower, sadly, but we do make sure they don't get king tower damage, which is huge, because if you don't allow them to get king tower damage, then you have like a tower to work with. And so here was a very important play. And what I'm saying when I say you have a tower to work with is now they you don't run the risk of going in on offense and they just like giant skelly army in the pocket, because now you have 6,400 health. So, but yeah, this matchup is a very like step-by-step form of sacking and attacking, because like here you saw the reason that I sacked that tower was so I could get all these extra balloon hits on the tower, and he has a very minimal amount of air counters here since he only has the Night Witch and the arrows, and he does go with the arrows on the minions, which is unfortunate. I was hoping he wouldn't do that, but that means we just go guards here, and there's really nothing he can do to punish because the guards are placed in a format, so I feel like when in the pocket, they would go to the pocket and help out. But yeah, mid ladder is really bad for matchups. So sometimes, you know, you're just going to get like 6 air counter cancer that you got to worry about. And so here what we do is we go with the miner to make sure that the bowler doesn't get tower damage. And here we do, I think, lose the tower because it's just an onslaught and we have no splash in this deck at all. But you see, when I said the tower was at 6,400 health, and now we still have like 3,500 left after these bats are done. And so what we do here is we know he's out of his bats, so we use the arrows to time it right. Just all we need is one balloon hit. We go with the zap here to make sure that the bats spawn from the Night Witch are delayed, and we win that. So that's crazy good matchup there. It's not, I mean, not a good matchup. I mean, like, we played it good, so it was a good game. There against the hard counter. I think that's definitely still a hard counter because you have absolutely no splash, so if they just like spam the pocket, you can't do anything. So it's like really annoying. Alrighty, I want to show another Hunter matchup because Hunter is just abysmal and we hate it. Especially after the buff. I mean, there was no need to buff Hunter. I feel like if you just nerfed the Archer Queen, then Hunter and Muskie both would have come back into spotlight. But, you know, the freaking developer team is a bunch of 5,000 players. So, anyways, Royal Giant Skeleton King is definitely a winnable matchup because you can use your minions to kill the Skeleton King pretty easily. They're probably my favorite counter of the Skeleton King because Skeleton King players don't really run arrows. And it's like, okay, so you could just play the minions on a Skeleton King, and then even if he uses the ability, they'll kill the Skeleton King, and the minions are super good against skeletons and graveyard and Skarmy and stuff like that, so you definitely have an advantage over Skeleton King there. And Skeleton King, he was the only champion that wasn't touched in the balance changes, so it's he's not like that rare in the meta. You'll face him pretty often. I feel like he's in a popular lava deck, also, you know, Royal Giant. He's in some graveyard decks. Yuga, what's up? You be right back? Okay, baby. Love you. And so here, we may have zapped the wrong thing, because I don't know how much damage it is. 700. Yeah, maybe we should zap the skeletons instead of the hunter there, but overall, we just stop a hunter hit, and a hunter hit does like 700, so it's annoying. We just ignore the fisherman there. It's not really worth it to play on a fisherman, in my opinion. And I was leaking a little bit. I don't know what I was doing there. Maybe I was like, I'm pretty sure I was in the middle of class, so maybe I was like talking to somebody. But yeah, we ignore the fisherman anyways. I just would have preferred to get that lava down earlier. And so here what happens is we go with the guards and then the balloon, and I went with the guards first because we didn't have our balloon, so it wasn't going to be possible for us to go with the balloon first. So we went with the guards to make sure that the Royal Giant doesn't get too much King Tower damage, because you gotta not underestimate your King Tower. Like, it's not that good. It's gonna take a lot of damage fast. And here we went with a prediction play, which I thought was going to be really good, and it kind of worked. We took the tower, so I guess it worked, but I wanted to keep the balloon alive. It doesn't really matter though, because minor Lava Hound does do quite a bit of damage. I think it's like 130 a second or something, so it's pretty good. And then the minions, as you can see, are a great counter to skeletons, and we just use the guards there, and here it becomes an onslaught. No splash in the opponent's deck, so we are able to use guards, minions, lava pups to just harass him, and then we win the game here, which is really nice. And yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for the video. But I think this is definitely a deck you can outplay with. It's one of the most skilled lava decks right now because you can do a lot of things with the zap and the miner. So check it out. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see y'all later.